That's right. It's another vlog. This is another vlog, but this time it has a purpose. I get the question a lot, Jamie, how many hours do you actually work in a week? Because I'm always saying that I'm busy. People are like, how many hours do you really work then? And then I'm like, I don't actually know the answer to that. So I am doing this partially because I'm curious how many hours I truly do work in a week and how many hours I spend like sucking my toe in a corner. So anytime that I start to do any work, and this includes responding to emails or using social media for business purposes, I am going to start a timer, and then we're going to look at the total each day and then at the end of the week. I think I work about 40 hours in the week, but I may be completely wrong. This may just totally blow that guess out of the water. I really have no idea. So I'm interested to see, and I hope you enjoy. This will be kind of, you know, laid back, but we have a goal. All right. So day one, it's the middle of day one. It's 12:38 p.m. right now, and I did track the amount of work that I did. Ooh, hi. I did track the amount of work that I did at the cafe this morning. I didn't want to vlog in public, and I probably will not unless it is extremely discreetly, because the thought of that makes me want to shrivel up into a raisin. So yeah, 2 hours and 16 minutes. That's kind of like my first leg of work, and I'll show you exactly what I worked on during that time. I just ate some lunch at home, and now basically I'm going to hop back into work probably for another 2 or 3 hours. It kind of depends on how I'm feeling. I like to intuitively work, as you will find out this week. What we worked on today was the opening spread, which has the title of the book, Mushroom Rain, that I'm working on. And this was the original sketch that I gave to the client. It's kind of like a flat lay style of a bunch of mushrooms, maybe on a table or some sort of surface. And they made a really good point of saying, well, the next 2 pages, which is the beginning of the book, has this really dramatic entry with 2 very big fly Garrick mushrooms, these guys. And so we decided, instead of having mushrooms on this introduction page, it would be a little bit more serene and calm leading up to that dramatic page 2 and 3. And today's job was essentially redesigning that. So I'll show you. I did a sketch first, but I ended up going straight to final today. Instead, it's sort of a forest scape. I've got like a tree trunk and another tree trunk with a pine branch coming down here. Of course, the title remains right there. Little mountainscape in the background and some storm clouds and a couple of bracket sort of polypore fungi. And then some, you know, cute little twiggy foliage. And like I said, I went straight to final, so this is what I did in that 2 hours and 16 minutes at the cafe. The color's a little bit off on the camera, and I apologize if there are things that are not in focus. But yes, this is the opening page now, the opening spread to Mushroom Rain. And I like it. I like how it turned out. I'm glad that they had me change that. Just having these bracket fungi here. They're called red belt fungi. But yeah, that's what we got. And now I think I'm gonna go ahead and work on some Arden High, which is the graphic novel that I'm working on with Disney. Checking in, we're now at 4 hours 40 minutes, and I'm starting to feel a little sick in the head working here at this desk. So I might take like a 10-minute break, decompress, stretch a little bit, and then go out to work for what I will consider like the third leg of my day. I finished one. Okay, so here's here's the overview, right? I finished one spread of Mushroom Rain. I finished one page of Arden High. I would like to get at least another half a page done of Arden High. We'll talk more about that in a different video, my timeline for that and kind of how I'm up against the clock a little bit, but that will be another vlog. All right, so I went to go do some more work, and then I went to a yoga class at the climbing gym. So our total time for the day ended up being 5 hours, 45 minutes of work total. And that's day one. And we're gonna keep going throughout the week and see. I would say that was a solid day of work for me. I would say that I probably will max out at 6 hours, and I normally work 6 to 7 days a week. So we'll see what happens. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever. So today's total as of 4:44 p.m. is 4 hours and 10 minutes. I honestly wanted to work longer at the climbing gym, but my iPad died, as you saw. And I'm just gonna take a little break for a bit. I got some chalk paint for this table and another table that I have. Got it in, it's like I would call it like a Kelly green, sort of medium green color. That's what I'm going to paint the big table with. And then the smaller table is going to be kind of a combination of these two to make kind of a light teal, you know. And then a matte varnish finish. I don't think I'm going to paint them right now. Instead, for a little DIY, I'm going to repot my aloe into a bigger home because he is outgrowing this little pot. And then I think perhaps I will do some more work. And oh, let me add that tomorrow I'm going to IKEA. I will take you with me. That'll be fun. I will probably do some work in the evening, but it's not going to be a work heavy day. And that's normal. I usually have 1 or 2 days out of the week where I only work a few hours that day. So that's the plan. Let's repot this baby boy. Well guys, I dropped dirt all over the floor like I suspected. So I'm gonna clean this up and then perhaps even vacuum. I know that they make those things that you can replant things in your apartment, but I simply just won't buy one. I simply just won't. I'm months away from having a balcony, and that is where all the planting will happen from now on. But for now, we're doing it at the place where I eat my food. You know how I said I wasn't gonna paint it? I'm not gonna paint the whole thing. You know, we're not smearing it on the whole thing. I'm just gonna try a little, maybe half or maybe perhaps, you know, the whole top. But like the legs and the sides, we're gonna wait on that. This feels wrong. This feels like I'm doing something very wrong. Oh, I'm so glad that I decided to do this. I'm so glad that you guys convinced me to go ahead and start painting this table. Thank you. I am gonna do more work. I am gonna do more work tonight. Good morning. Sorry, we're sitting in my car and I am once again filming on my iPhone. I have this very nice camera and I just simply don't bring it anywhere. I thought that the coffee shop opened at 8 on Sundays, just like the rest of the days. It does not. It opens at 9 and it's 8:30 now. So I am sitting in my car waiting for it to open. I might start to do some work here. It's really not that far from my house. Like I could just drive home, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna sit here and commit. IKEA, went great. Sorry I didn't film there. It was like Disney. It was so crowded, and I did take a picture of this meatball for you. You can have the first bite. So yes, I feel a little like uneasy that I didn't get to work at all yesterday, just because I had planned to work a little bit in the evening and then ended up being like a 10-hour day at IKEA. So I am feeling really determined today to get a lot done. I was considering climbing. I don't think that I will now today. And we're gonna get back on track with counting and filming, and I really need to cut my toenails. I'm wearing orange pants. Have a great day. Who am I saying that to? So now we are at what I would call the halfway point, or maybe a little bit more than halfway. My goal is probably to work until about 4:30 today, so that's about 2 hours and 30. Okay, so we're not at the halfway point, we're past the halfway point. That's great. I'm home, by the way, in case you didn't notice. I'm no longer at the cafe. I got these earrings from Hello Teddy Co. You can't really see them in this light, but they are really pretty. Like they remind me of clouds and squigglies and arches and everything that I just love very much. So I wanted to check in partially because I have a question for you. So when I'm working, I am only counting my work time on client projects, and there is a clock ticking down for my deadlines to the point where I really don't have a lot of time to do personal work on my work days. However, here's the question, should I time myself when I take a break in between client work when I'm working on personal work? So I just decided I'm gonna do 30 minutes of personal work to take a break in between some client work. In your opinion, should I keep the clock running during that? Because my intention was, yes, I'm going to keep the clock running because that time being spent on something that could be put on Patreon. It's being spent on something that I will probably end up posting on social media in order to grow my following as a business, etc. But you should let me know what you think. Is that work? Is doing personal work in between big boy work actual work? Do you know what I'm saying? Love that you can see my CBD, my melatonin CBD gummies so that I can go to sleep at night. I don't really know how to get the lighting so that maybe I should move the lamp. No matter what, we're gonna have just kind of iffy lighting right now, sorry. I didn't check back in last night. Obviously you saw how many hours we finished up at, but today I'm just gonna tell you my plan. This video is gonna be a mess. I haven't started editing it and I'm not looking forward to it because I just feel like I have filmed a lot of really random footage of me talking to the camera saying this is how much I'm gonna work, this is how much I did work. Hopefully it all works out in the end. Somehow it seems to. I am going to go do some work at the cafe for as long as I can until I get hungry and I have to come home and eat. And then after that, I'm going to come home, I'm going to eat, probably do a little bit more work at home, and then I'm climbing with a friend. So I'm going to try to fit a lot of work concentrated into that small amount of time so that I don't have to worry about it when I'm climbing. I feel like now you can sort of see the theme that is going on, where it is I go out in the morning to work and then I come home, I eat, and then I work more at home. Working at home has been especially frustrating lately because my living area has my tables that I'm painting still and some chairs that I'm assembling, and this room is missing one of those tables, so it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's starting to feel even more transitional than normal because I am in the process of actively starting to prepare to move now. Yeah, so let's go do some work. Hey guys, what's up? It's future Jamie here, and I was editing this video when I realized, well, first of all, there's a lot of problems with it, but wow, it looks like I'm in jail right now. I kind of didn't film a lot of footage for some of the days, and I didn't label which days were what, so I don't have barely anything to show for Tuesday, and I think that the footage I shot on this next day was for Wednesday, but it might have been Tuesday, I don't know. I apologize for the lack of content. This is the first kind of video I've done like this, so. Hey, take it easy.
Take it easy.
Thank you, thank you. So I am an insane person, so I did, on a whim, just, you know, drag my bed out into my living space and rearranged essentially everything. Moved everything around on a whim, and it took about an hour, I would say, and I got a little sweaty, but now, here, I'll take you down the hall. Now this is looking, I would say, even a bit more sad than it previously has, but that's because it is going to serve sort of as a guest room for my last 2 months of living here, seeing as my friend Dalton is going to be visiting, and just in case anybody else wants to come spend the night. Now I have a guest room in my studio apartment. Look at that. I have a bit of a crunched living situation for myself at the moment, but I like the change. Honestly, it'll be kind of exciting and exhilarating to sleep here while the road is right there. Fred Figglehorn looking idiot. This is what happens when I don't put any product in my hair and I just let it air dry. Well, it's afternoon time now, and I have already I went for a walk in the morning, and then I went to a place to work for a few hours. I wasn't feeling that. Just wasn't feeling it today, so I came home and then continued work, and right now I think we're sitting at about 2 hours and 30 minutes of work, and now I'm going to take a break to go do my day 33 of Epic Heat Carolyn Gervin leg. I'm feeling just so not in it today, and honestly I think that happens a lot, especially if the subject matter that I'm working on that particular day isn't like really speaking to me. And that's just the nature of book illustration, I guess. You just have certain days where you're drawing pages and you're like, do I want to render this Jeep? Not really. That's where we're at. And then tomorrow is the last day of the week, and then we'll take our total and figure it out. So I might see you later in the day, I might not. Pretty bad about filming during this video, huh? Hey, one more thing. My bed being here, sorry, these are my sports bras that I'm just drying on my desk. My bed being right here. I did not sleep super well on this first night of getting used to my bed being there. So that's probably a big reason of why I'm feeling a little out of it today. Waking up and being like, whoa, where am I? Oh, I'm in my living room. And then looking down the dark hallway and being like, that's a little spooky. Hey, good morning. This is just to give you a little insight. This is what my hair looks like when I wake up. And some people might think it looks cool until you see what's going on in the back. Then it becomes socially unacceptable. It's the final day, and I can't believe I'm talking to you while I look like this, but it's the final day. And I've done a kind of a shoddy job of filming, but we've got the data, folks, and I definitely feel like today needs to be a heavier work day. Again, I've said in the past that I kind of work intuitively, and I feel like my sort of like four and a half hour days that I've been having has been okay, but I feel like I could do a lot today. And I hope that I'm right. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna go ahead and start work now at 6:30 a.m. and I'm saving my workout until the evening because tonight is yoga at the climbing gym again. So yeah, let's get it going. Oh, sorry, I checked in looking like this. Edward Cullen check, right? Am I right? Checking in with what we have done today, since I haven't been showing a whole lot of that. But I think that that's a huge part of all of this, right? The work that I'm doing. So yesterday I made some reference to rendering a Jeep. This is said Jeep. There's Wojtek in the passenger seat. This is one of my favorite drawings in the end. Well, you know, I acted like I didn't like rendering this car, but it actually was kind of a nice change of pace versus rendering a human being. I also did this, I think, yesterday or maybe at the end of the day before. And this is mainly what I've been working on today. This is when Wojtek meets his new crew of friends. And I did really enjoy, especially the colors of this and the composition. It's hard to draw like it's not a crowd, it's a small group. It's hard to draw a group of people in matching uniforms and keep it interesting. So I know that the editor and the author said you can put them in like variants of their uniform. Maybe they have just a white t-shirt on, etc. So that's what I did. Yep, that's been mostly what I've been working on today. Oh, and also, as you saw earlier in the morning, I was working a little bit on this shot. Didn't make a lot of progress before I jumped ship to that other page, just because that was appealing to me more. So yeah, now we're at, let's look at the time, 5 hours and 3 minutes, and I think I'm going to try to get about an hour more of work in and call it a day on the last day. Hey, how's it going? I'm on my floor. I am sick now. It's been 2 weeks since I filmed and edited and basically finished the entire video. Oh, I have a stain on my shirt, and I absolutely have not added up my hours yet, but here I am filming the conclusion because that's a very important part of this whole thing, is seeing how many hours I worked in that week. So I thought we could do that together now. $35? Is it 35? Wait, is that right? I may be an idiot, but I am an idiot. You may have to check my math here, but I think that I just came up with 35. I added it up like this, like a darn fool, and I'm pretty sure that if you just carry over the hour, this does add up to 35 hours, 35 minutes. So my estimation of 40 hours in a work week was slightly overdoing it. And you know what? I think that this sounds about right. And in all seriousness, it's really easy for me to be hard on myself. It's easy for me to feel like I haven't worked enough, that I need to be working constantly throughout the day and not taking as many breaks. But when it comes down to it, those breaks and doing other things in my life, like you saw me going to the gym or taking a day off, those are the things that keep me working and that make my work worthwhile and that keeps it quality, rather than me taking no time off at all and then it looking kind of poo-poo garbo, you know? I used to tell my underclassmen friends and my pre-college students when I was a TA that my biggest piece of advice was to live your life outside of your art and not be working all the time, because that was a really bad stigma at art school. And honestly, over the course of my first full year in freelance, I feel like I haven't entirely followed my own advice. I put a lot of pressure on myself. I'm starting to figure it out a little bit more. I'm starting to find that balance a bit. Frankly, some of the time I still don't though. Sometimes I still push myself way too hard, but I don't have it figured out yet. And I don't know when I will have it figured out. I also don't want to sit here and be like, oh, boo-hoo, this job is so hard. I get to do what I love for a living, because that's not the case at all. I know that what I'm doing is a dream job for most people. I feel very fortunate to be in this situation. But in the end, it is a creative job, and doing something creative all day is emotionally draining, and doing it for even 35 hours a week is, I would say, more draining than 35 hours of physical labor per week. And that is my opinion. I mean, I've tried both, not full time. I have not been a construction worker for 35 hours in a week. But do you get what I'm trying to say? That's just me and how I work. Anyways, folks, that's gonna do it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed. I am sorry that this was a whole mess, even from start to finish, you know, even the conclusion is kind of a mess. But I feel like I learned a lot in this video. I've got a lot of things coming up in the next month or so that I would love to film. And I know it's been a while since I filmed, and for a while I was on track. I'd like to get back on track now that I'm finishing up some projects. So yeah, hope you're doing well. Hope you're not sick like I am. Otherwise, stay safe. Love you. Man, I just keep saying that I love you at the end of my videos. I guess I really do, huh? All right, I'll see you again soon for something else you didn't ask for. Bye.